Okay. So I'm so excited you guys tuned in on the Friday night. My name is Jackie Sitton, and I'm a Presidential Diamond, and I have been with the company for 4.5 years. And I've learned a lot of do's and don'ts as far as charting along the way. And I want to share that with you guys tonight. And I'm going to go through everything from basics, and then we're going to go through some advanced charting stuff at the end. So there is a lot of content on here. If you guys need to hop off, don't worry about it. I understand. Especially if you're new and we start to get to that advanced charting at the end, feel free to hop off. I totally get that might be too much at this moment in time. So, and then feel free, like I said, I have you guys able to unmute yourself. So if you have a question pertaining to something that I'm talking about right now, just unmute yourself and ask it, okay? So we can just answer it then. If it's not pertaining to what I'm talking about right now, just type it in the chat and then I'll get to it at the end and we'll go through like a open question type thing, okay? All right, so I'm gonna hop right into this and we are going to tackle everything from executive all the way up to diamond, and then we're also going to talk about diamond bonuses, and we are also going to touch on the comp plan a little bit. I'm not going to get into that a ton, but I do want you guys to kind of hear percentages and a little bit about that because it does affect how you chart a little bit. So if you don't have a piece of paper, get a piece of paper. If you don't have a chart, you know, I wanted people to print them, but I get it. Some people don't have printers. So you can just follow along and draw with me on a blank sheet of paper if you don't have it. And I have my notes down here. I was trying to be so prepared, you guys, with notes. So a couple of things that I want to tell you about why I wanted to do this. So when I first started the business, Sarah O'Connell, she is my sponsor / best friend, and she and I are so alike. Like we're greens and we're reds when it comes to the personality color wheel, and we both love charting. And she taught me how to chart, so a lot of what I do is what she teaches still, okay? And what I teach my team and so on and so forth. And this business is a business of replication. So I hope you guys are taking notes, and I hope some of this will resonate with you, and I hope some of this you will tweak to your own liking, and that you'll teach your teammates this as well. My dogs are fighting. No, they're playing, but just ignore it. They sound like Chewbacca. So the other thing, steps to success, really, I think of them as instructions. They are the instructions for what we need to do every single month to get a paycheck and how we promote rank. You guys, this is ridiculous. And our charts are like our roadmaps. So your steps to success, you complete that, that's great, but you have to put these people, when you sign them up, in a specific order or position in order for you to promote. So you can sign people up all day, but if you don't follow that roadmap, aka your chart, he'll be referred to it as a map as well, because that's what Sarah and I have called it, maps, since we started. So chart or map. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna make them be quiet. Okay, I just laid down the law. I'm so bad. No, they'll do it again. They don't listen to me. So, okay, let's jump right in, you guys. We're going to go over abbreviations. So a lot of this you probably already know. So bonus volume, I hope you guys can see it. I know there's a little bit of a glare. I have literally tried everything for lighting. So just try to bear with me on that. Bonus volume, BV, that is every single product we have is attached, has a bonus volume attached to it. And it is very closely related to the price, but it's not identical to it. So I think that's something to be aware of. So for example, the wraps are $59, but they're $54 BV. Okay, and where do you find BV? Where I like to go is in my eSuite. I go to orders, I click on orders, and I can scroll through all the products and I can see their bonus volume. And the more you do it, the more you'll start to memorize that stuff too. So what is PBV? PBV is personal bonus volume. Personal bonus volume is everything that is directly underneath you. So that includes your auto shipment, any orders you make that you don't move that stay directly under you. That includes any loyal customers that are directly under you. So that all makes up your PBV. The next thing is group volume. And this is often confused by people, like group volume and PBV. Why does it matter? So group volume is your entire downline's volume, including your own. So that includes your auto shipment, that includes your loyal customers like we just talked about with the PBV, and then it includes everything in your downline. That's your group volume. And I'm gonna get into that a little bit more with some examples of how those differ and how they're the same at some points too. So that's why it can get a little bit confusing. And then a qualified leg I don't know why this was so hard for me to understand at first, because I thought leg, like I thought it had to be a whole long leg, but a qualified leg is actually just a top line box on your chart that's at 400 GB. So that's a qualified leg. And then fast start qualification, I know you guys probably know what that is and love that as much as I do. That gives you your fast start bonus. A fast start qualification, you need to have 2 loyal customers under that new distributor, and they have to run an 80 BB auto shipment or have 150 in PBV. Okay, I'm going to use this as my little platform right now to talk to you guys about PBV and auto shipments. So I have a love-hate relationship with 150 PBV. When I started, 80 BB was the law. Like, we didn't have that option to do that. And so you just made it work. Like, if you wanted to sign up, you knew you had to sell those wraps or that product each month, and you made it work, and you really invested in your business. And you know, that kind of, a lot of that has changed a little bit with the PBV. And you know, okay, I do like the PBV. Here's why I like it. Because when someone signs up and they are really hard up for money and they don't have that money to run that auto shipment, I like that we have that option for them. And I'm going to tell you another reason why I like the option later, but I want to play it into the charting. But I do think as sponsors for these people, we have got to be pushing that auto shipment. And there's a lot of reasons behind that. We should be a product of the product. I can't sell something that I don't use. I'd feel like a complete hypocrite, and it just wouldn't, I can't do it. And I would say 95% of the people that message me that want help with their business because they're just not going anywhere, first thing I do is I go look at their profile, and I can guarantee you majority don't have an auto shipment running. How can you be excited or sell something that you don't use yourself, and how can you promote that to other people if you're not excited? It just doesn't make sense. You should be a product of the product. And so I think like I said, love the PBV for when you first get started, but I think that that seed needs to be planted right away, that you should be shooting for that auto shipment eventually, because you guys want them to teach their distributors to do the same thing, right? Because that's going to affect fast start bonuses for people. That's going to affect actual bonuses for those people. There's a lot of things that it can affect people's promotions if they're not commissions qualified. And the other reason I don't love the PBV option, if you have the other option to run the auto shipment, I don't leave my commissions check up to anybody but myself. I'm not going to leave my commissions check up to my loyal customers. I love them to pieces, but I can't control what they're doing. I can't control if they send back a box of wraps. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say I'm banking on that, and it's the last day of the month, and I check and I'm like, I'm good. I got 154 PBV. It's 7 p.m. I go about my day, and I'm not going to look again because I know I'm commissions qualified and I'm good to go. But what I don't know is that there was an order returned by my loyal customer that day, which was a box of wraps, and that hasn't processed yet. And once that processes, that drops me down to 100. So now from 154, I'm at 100, which means I'm not commissions qualified and I'm not getting paid for all the work I did. So that's really something to think about, and it happens. It really actually happens. They're called clawbacks. And so if you guys are serious and want to make that commission and you want your teammates to be serious, you need to keep educating people that they should be investing in their business. They should be investing in themselves, and they should be obviously loving the products that they're selling. So I will get off my soapbox about that. So, okay, those are the abbreviations. I'm going to go on to charting. All right, so this is you, and I do not have good artistic skills, so I'm sorry in advance, you guys. And you have what's called a top line. I can't even draw a straight line. All right, so have you guys heard that phrase, top line, before? Just shake your head. Okay, so top line, what does that mean? So top line is all the distributors immediately underneath you, directly under you. And we always tell people, you can go to the top, you can be an ambassador diamond with just 5 people on your top line. And I'm going to show you guys that that's very true. So those people that tell you to build wide, I'm going to debunk why that is not a good idea. We have a downline compensation plan. And people that build wide, our comp plan doesn't work for that. I mean, it works, but it doesn't work the way it does if you build downline, like our comp plan is made to do. Okay, so top line, you get 10% of all sales on your top line. So that includes distributors, auto shipments, any orders, loyal customers. Okay, so I'm going to go over percentages later, but how do you become executive? You become executive by having 2 distributors on your top line. Okay, I'm just going to put A for that. That means your top line. So you have 2 distributors on your top line. Now, that's great. Your boxes are filled. Does that mean you go executive? No, there's a lot of other things that need to happen. One of those being you need to make sure your commission's qualified. And 2, these 2 people have to have at least 400 GV to promote, for you to promote, okay? And how do you help them get that GV? Okay, that's where your steps of success come in. Okay, so you already did that. You know how to teach them. First steps for them, you want to help, of course, you sign them up, so you want to get that fast start bonus. So you're going to help them get their first 2 and then on to their first 4 loyal customers within 30 days. But you don't get that fast start bonus unless you teach them to run an auto shipment or teach them to have 150 in PBV in that first 30 days as well. So make sure you're keeping your eye on that. All right, so you're going to help them gather those customers. You're going to teach them the magic number of 400. And then if that happens, you are executive. So, okay. I'm going to explain to you guys. Oh, I don't know if I want to do. Yeah, I'm going to explain to you guys right now the difference between PBV and GV and how it can sometimes be the same. So, right now, this distributor A doesn't have any distributors underneath him or her, okay? So, their GV and PBV number is going to be the same because everything's directly under them, right? So that's going to count for their PBV, but their GV is going to be the same too because they don't have anything down here. So right now, nothing underneath them, PBV, GV is the same. Let's say distributor A gets a DT, okay? And I'm going to erase this here. Let's say I'm going to go with, try to make my numbers easy so I can do math easy. So let's say right now, distributor A decided not to run an auto shipment. They're going to bank on that personal bonus volume. So right now with orders, all their loyal customer orders have ran, they're at 100 in PBV. Okay. Now their new distributor, I'm just going to say, has 50 PBV, which is also their GV right now, right? Because they don't have anyone underneath them. Okay, so right now, distributor A, because of this 50 and because of their 100 in their personal, they have a group volume of 150. Okay, now, do you think their commission's qualified? No, you're right. They're not commissions qualified because this does not count towards their PBV. It counts towards their GV. So if they are using this for their commissions qualification, this doesn't count. So I've seen people think, well, my GV is at 300. Why am I not commissions qualified? I'm like, because your PBV is at 35. So that's the problem. So that's just something to think about. That's why it can be very confusing when you first start, when you're looking at your PBV and your GV, you're like, well, what is the heck? What's the difference? They're both the same thing. Well, they're not the same thing. They are at first, but the second you get one distributor underneath you, that's when they deviate. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of this. All right. So do you guys have any questions about GV or anything like that? Just unmute yourself. And PBV. We'll go through it a little bit more, but I hope that makes a little bit of sense because I was confused at that at first because you start out being in the same and then all of a sudden you get a distributor and your sponsor's like, don't look at that anymore. And I'm like, what? Like I couldn't figure out why they went separate ways. Okay, so now you're executive. So on top of getting executive pay, you've taught them how to do their steps. They're going to teach their next distributors. You pocketed $200 in fast start bonuses, helped them get bonus qualified. And now your next step is Ruby. So to go Ruby, you need 3 people on your top line. So I have a way I've tried to draw this so I can fit it all on here. All right, so you need 3 people on your top line. And then one of these 3 people on your top line needs to have 2 distributors underneath them. Okay, and a lot of times when you guys look at a Ruby chart, Like it's laid out in a finite way, right? When you look at it, and I'm trying to see, like it always has the executive being over here, right? When you're looking at your Ruby chart. Well, just know you can erase these people and move them around. Okay, so just because it's over here doesn't mean any one of these people can be your executive for that Ruby promotion. It doesn't matter which one. So just to give you guys a little bit of an idea of how that can, because our charts, when you print them out in the eSuite, have it over here. It can be anyone. So let's say this person really takes off and is just doing awesome. Actually, I'm going to do this one. So this person, seriously, signs, you have their launch party, and they sign 2 people. Okay, so I'm so sorry, it's crooked, but you get the idea. They sign 2 people at their launch party. So now they're excited because they're going to get those fast start bonuses because you're going to start teaching them their steps and what they need to do. And now you are boxed for Ruby. You've heard people say that, right? Oh, so-and-so's boxed for Diamond. That does not mean you are Diamond. That does not mean you are Ruby. There's still those numbers that need to happen. So 400 is the magic number for all of these people, and that's GB. Okay, 400 is the magic number. So you need to really pay attention to this person if their commission's qualified. You need to really know. I'm going to show you guys how I lay out my charts every month so that I look at my chart and I can see exactly what's going to go down for that month. Okay, projected volumes, auto shipments, things like that. But if I'm going for a promotion, I'm paying very close attention to this person who's going to be my executive if I'm going for my Ruby. Because this person has to be commissions qualified in order for me to go Ruby. So let's say, for example, everyone else is killing it. They got their 400 here. They have their 400 here. They're done. These 2, 400 easily, 400 easily. Okay, so now, of course, because we talked about that volume flowing up, this person is going to have a GV of 800 at least, right? Because these people are both at 400, so at least. So now this person's auto ship declined, and they are at 120 for PBV. So now, if this person is really going for their promotion, and this is something I was going to talk about later, but I'm just going to throw it in right now. So you tried to get a hold of distributor A multiple times, and they ran their auto shipment on the 25th, which means they cannot rerun it. And they have to now work on PBV because, we cannot rerun it after the 25th as distributors. So that's why if you guys can swing it, at least run it on the 23rd so that if something happens, let's say you get a new card, because that happened to me and I didn't catch it because there's a million things we have to change when we got the chip card and all that stuff. Let's say you don't catch it in time and it's the 26th and now your auto shipment hasn't ran and now you got to come up with 150 PBV somehow. So try to give yourselves 2 days at least to try to rerun that in case it happens. So I know some people can't, and I get that, but if you can, it's just safe. It's smart. Just protect yourself a little bit. Give yourself some cushion. All right, so executive, this person going for that promotion, their auto ship decline. You've been trying to get a hold of them to let them know, and they finally called you back, and they were like, oh, darn it, I forgot to change my card number. And they're like, what can I do? Can I still help you? Can I still get my promotion and you get yours? Yes, they can. So because of the 120, I should update this. So we know we have 800 from them. They're going to have 920 for GB. So this person's well above 400. The problem is she's not commissions qualified. So the second she becomes commissions qualified, you go Ruby because everything else is done. So what this person can do is place a one-time order for at least 30 BV to get her up to 150 and keep that order directly underneath her. Don't move it anywhere. And that will commissions qualify her. So then you will go Ruby. Okay, and that happens a lot. Like it actually happens a lot. So I've had people be like, I don't get why is it not updating? Why am I not Diamond? Why? And I go back and look, I'm like, well, you don't have an executive. Like, we gotta figure out how we're gonna get you some volume under that person. So that is one problem that can happen when you're charting for promotions. So I just want to reiterate how important it is for you guys, one, to know your players. Who are your executives going to be? Who are your rubies going to be? Who are your emeralds going to be? Who are your diamonds? You guys have to know who you're running with. This is not like a guessing game. You know, you don't decide later. Like you look at your chart and know, okay, this is where I'm going this month. You have that roadmap laid out. That's what you follow. Okay, so next promotion is emerald. So I'm gonna have like black marker on my face by the time we're done. Oh my gosh. All right, so to go emerald, you need to have 4 distributors on your top line. So you're gonna need to add 1 more on your top line. Okay, and then of course they need to be a qualified leg, so they need to get to 400. And then you need to have 2 rubies. So 2 people out of those 4 need to go ruby on your top line. Okay, and you just built yourself to ruby, so I know you can help them get to ruby. So this person is still working it, still working hard, and she just did her launch party for this gal here, so, and she just signed her cousin. I'm trying to make this so you guys can see. It's just getting messier and messier here. She signed her cousin, her sister. I'm just using these. She signed 3 people. Let's just say that. That's easier. Okay. And then again, you know what do you need for ruby? You need an executive. So one of these 3 people needs to have 2 distributors underneath them and needs to also be commissions qualified. So let's say that her cousin, she throws her launch party and she signs up her sister and her best friend. Okay, so am I charting for a diamond right now? You guys, I'm losing it. Just forget what I just did. This is why I shouldn't look at my notes. Back up, back up, back up. Okay, so now you're going emerald, so you need a ruby. So this person here, sorry. This person here needs to go ruby, and then one of these 3 people needs to go ruby. So 1 more person on their top line, and then one of these people needs to have an executive under them. So let's say this person. This person. All right, so you're good to go here. Your boxes are filled for this ruby. Now it's just all about volume and making sure they have a commissions qualification. So this is your ruby. Okay, so then now you know to go emerald, you need 1 more of these people. 1 more of those people has to go ruby. So, you know, this is a time with placing and stuff like that, where let's say you signed a distributor and you're wondering where to place. This is a time where you do kind of get to feel it out and see where you want to place. So let's say, for example, I go through my top line people and I'm talking to them, and this distributor, not running an auto shipment, you know, not really responding to me, probably not going to place under her, if I'm being honest. This distributor, he's really busy, just new baby, like family. He said he needs to take a little time away, but he's still going to work the business as he can. Okay, this person just started not too long ago. Had a launch party, and let's say at the launch party signed up a couple people, and they're just super excited. I'm going to place under this person, obviously, because they're super excited. So now they have 3 people. We need just to get 1 more executive. So let's just, for ease of it, but it could be any one of these people. This executive needs to go executive 2 people on their top line. Okay, so see each person, like A, this is their top line. Me, this is my top line. So everyone needs a certain amount of people on their top line. All right, so you have your boxes filled. Now we just need to get everyone to 400 and make sure these people are commissions qualified. Like your executive, keep your eye on them. Your ruby, Keep your eye on them. Your other Ruby and your other executive. All right, so let's say you get all your boxes to 400 and you're just waiting on this person to get commissions qualified. The second that person gets commissions qualified, if all of these boxes are 400, you go Emerald. Okay, now I guess I will talk about placement right here. So the cool part about placement is we have the opportunity to technically build our entire team ourselves. Like we can move people where we need them. We have 24 hours to do that. So yes, this is a team situation, but I mean, there are promotions where I did feel like I was the only one doing anything, but I was determined. I knew that I could build my chart myself. If I had to sign 10 people, I was going to sign 10 people, you know? So you can build your chart, your entire downline, you know, by yourself. The good news is that rarely happens because you will have somebody out of there, you know, the 24 people it takes to go diamond that wants this as much as you and is working with you. So most likely you'll have more than one. So that being said, let's say, for example, you're looking at your chart and really trying to help these people because obviously this is your one box that you need to be filled for your Emerald. And you sign somebody. Okay, how do I say this? All right, always build towards your chart. I've had people build on feelings, and I don't know a nicer way to say it. Like, we don't have a crystal ball, you guys. Like, have you ever heard someone say, like, they're going to be so good, I'm going to place them under them? I'm like, yeah, and then you're going to miss your promotion. Like, I'm sorry, I am all about helping people, and that help will happen because, again, we're a downline comp plan, but you have to place for your promotions, build towards your charts. And you have to teach others to do that too. Because if you I've had people so close to diamond promotions lately that haven't placed under people because they weren't working, so to speak. And again, I can't say this is 99. I mean, there are situations where this is not going to be the case. So of course there's going to be times where this does not apply. You know, maybe there is a whole dead leg and that's not, maybe filling boxes, yeah, it looks like the shorter way, but maybe starting over is going to be quicker, if that makes sense. So you have to take it case by case, but majority of the time, just keep placing and keep going. And who Sarah and I learned from, and Danielle, you know, that was their advice. They said you place, you fill your boxes, and you run and you go. And that's what momentum is. And the good news is, you guys, placement is a privilege and should not be expected. I can't stand when people get mad. Like when they're like, oh my God, so-and-so didn't place under me, I'm so upset. I'm like, okay, they don't need to place under you. Like, this is your business. Like, it is awesome when that happens, but that's not their job to do that. So if you really think about it though, you guys, if you keep working, of course you're going to have someone place under you eventually. If you keep building towards your chart and following those rules and teaching others to do that, eventually this one's going to try to go Emerald, right? So she's going to be placing, you know, it all comes back around. So I really want to impress upon you guys that, of course, this isn't 100% of the time, and that's why it's important to work with your upline and figure out, you know, work with your downline and figure out where is going to be best. But the majority of the time, you just need to keep going towards those promotions, help others promote, keep that momentum going, and that's what's going to take you where you need to be. I mean, it's not, some people put so much time and energy into thinking about it, and I'm like, well, I see 2 empty boxes. So that's where I would place. Like, I mean, I don't mean it to be cold, but it's gotten me this far. So, and it's gotten a lot of people to ambassador and beyond. So, and a lot of people can tell me that they don't place like that, and that's fine. And that works for them, but this is what works for me. And I teach my team to do that. And yeah, that's how I do it. So I fill my chart in and I teach my team to do the same thing. And of course there are situations where that's not always going to be the easiest route, but those are case by case. All right, so Emerald. Okay, so, because like, I'm just going to show you guys an example. So let's say this person's not really doing that much, but this person really is and really trying to work for it here, okay? And, you know, that's a bad example. I'm trying to think of how to say this. Okay, here's what I'll tell you guys. Let's say that this leg is just kind of not doing much, but there's loyal customers under them. They have volume. You know, they're working a little slower, but they're still working. But they don't have the zest for the business like you feel like this person's going to have. Okay. So you sign somebody and you're sitting there. Let's say they need 2 people. You're sitting there wondering what you should do. You know, where do you place them? And I've literally had people place under those people versus filling a box, these 2 boxes. So let's say actually you sign 2 people. Let's say you sign 2 people. And I've heard people say like, oh, I think this person's going to be so good. I'm going to place them under them. You know what happens? The people we think are going to be so good, then they don't do anything. The people, like, we cannot predict what people are going to do with their business. All we can do is fill out our charts, you know, help them as much as possible and show them the way. So that's not to say you're not supporting this person by not placing under them, but that's not the time for you to place under them. Like, in my opinion, if you have the volume here still going on, place here. Okay, so you place your new distributor under here. And let's say this person quits. And you're sitting at Emerald and you're like, crap, like, what am I going to do? Like, oh, that person quit, and now what? Well, this is where compression comes in. So that's okay if this person quit, because that just means that this person who's still working is going to rise up to that ruby spot, like, metaphorically speaking. Okay. So the second that this person shuts off their auto shipment, this person gets shifted up in your pay. So now you're going to get paid at 10% instead of 5%. So that's where compression starts. So just think of it this way. Somebody quits, someone turns off an auto shipment, that distributor underneath them moves up in your pay level. So when you are placing people, don't worry how deep you're placing. Like, and some people may disagree with me with that, but I will stand by that forever, because I placed, to go diamond, I placed one of my top leaders on level 10. And I didn't think twice about it, because I was like, I'm going diamond. And she's now a level 1 for me, because the cream always rises to the top. Okay. And that's how that happens. It compresses up and everyone in between quit, and she's going to rise to the top anyway. She's going to end up on my top line regardless, because she's a rock star. So, and even if she doesn't, she's still my personally enrolled, and you're still going to get that 5% enroller bonus on her. So it's really a win-win. So you place for your promotion, and those people that really are working the biz and awesome, they will rise up to that top position in the end, no matter what. So anybody have any questions so far before we go into diamond? I hope this is not clear as mud. Sorry guys, there's so much. I'm trying to keep it as, like, you know, as slow as like in line and not diverting as much as I possibly can. But all right, so diamond. To go diamond, you need to have a ruby, and then one of these people on your top line needs to be an emerald, and you also need to have 1 extra person on your top line. So that completes your 5. That's the 5 people that you need to take this all the way to ambassador. So you need 1 more person on your top line. And then again, 1 of those people to go emerald and 1 to go ruby. So you already have a ruby. Okay. And this leg was kind of, you know, they're kind of getting back on their feet anyway. So you already have that ruby. You just need to foster and make sure that stays a ruby that month and help this person grow. This person's still going hard and wants that emerald. So you're going to help this person go emerald. So that we know what an emerald is, 2 rubies. So this executive needs to have 3 on top line, and then 1 of those people needs to go exec. All right. So, and I keep doing middle just so you guys know it can be any of them, because I know the printed charts, people get so confused thinking that it has to be the person on the end and they can't move them around. I'm like, no, you can erase people. You can move them around on that top line for charting purposes. Okay, and then underneath this emerald, I'm just coloring that green, trying to. you need to have one ruby you have, you need another ruby. So ruby, 3 people on the top line. I'm the worst drawer. And then one of those people needs to be your executive under them. All right. So that is a very messy, ugly, completed diamond chart. I promise I have a prettier one after this, but I just wanted to go through with you guys so you could see how it builds and how it looks so overwhelming when you look at a diamond chart. I almost threw up when I saw it. I was like, there is no way that that's going to happen. But it does happen because like I said, you can build this whole thing yourself, but it doesn't happen like that. Like, you have people excited, and if you're teaching them the steps to success and you're helping them as much as possible, and you know, being the sponsor that I know you guys all are, like, this all comes to play. Okay, so I want to tell you guys the other thing that's going on while all of this is happening. Okay, so you're helping all these people, they're working it, they're teaching. B is teaching C what you taught her, C is teaching D what, you know, B taught her. And so that's where that replication comes in. So if A didn't tell B how important an auto ship was and why it's important and about that 150 PVB and how they could miss out on commissions, B is not going to tell C, and C is not going to tell D. And all of a sudden you have an entire downline not running auto shipments and missing out on commissions, and people aren't promoting. And I mean, it's a big deal. So that's why, starting from the beginning, I know we don't want to scare anybody off, but if that scares them off, I'm like, come on, you know, you should want to use the products that you're selling. And there still is leeway. You can turn it off if you need to. No one's going to tie your hands together and say you have to do this. So I think we have to stop being so afraid of it, and we have to start teaching it, because it is going to travel with you your entire business if you don't start it right away. So start good habits right away so that it gets passed along. So, but what is happening, like I said, all of these people are working it, and you're focusing on helping them with volume and making sure all of these boxes are at 400 for you to promote to diamond. This person, you're still working with them. They're still your distributor. So they're still signing people. They're still signing people, you guys. So you're still getting paid on all that as well as building for your next promotion. So it does seem overwhelming, but there's so many other things working in the sidelines. And so it's a beautiful thing. And it happens more quickly than you think if you really stick to the basics. And I tried complicating things I was like, well, there was a time where I think we all do this. We get in the business and we're like trying to find a better way or reinventing the wheel. And we all come back to the same thing, the steps to success, because there's a reason. Our company knows that's what works. If you do the steps to success for 3 months, you guys, you will go diamond, because it's a ruby, right? Ruby 1, ruby 2, ruby 3. A diamond is 3 rubies. That is all. So if you teach your team to do that, you will go ambassador. I think, I want to say it was like, don't quote me, it was like 6 months. It was crazy, like the amount of time. If you completed your steps every month and taught everyone else to do that. I mean, it can happen in a very short amount of time. So next thing, all right, so diamond, we broke it down. It's 3 rubies. And I think you guys, when you show your new distributors that diamond chart and they have that terrified look in their eye, cover it up and show them it's 1, 2, 3 rubies. Because if they can build themselves to ruby, they can build themselves to diamond. They can build themselves to ambassador. So that's really all it is. Okay, comp plan. I am going to get into that a little bit, but I'm going to take this horribly ugly thing and cover it up with a prettier thing. Maybe. Can you guys see that? If you guys have questions while I'm trying to put this up, just hop on, tell me. Super cash, so just jump on in. All right, so I know this is smaller, but it's much prettier than what I just did, but it literally is the same thing as what we just did. You have your rubies. Okay, you have your, where's my blue pen? Oh, whatever. You have your executives. You have your one emerald. And you have your qualified legs up here. So what's a qualified leg? 400 GV. All right. So this is your diamond chart. Now, comp plan. This is really, well, when I tell this to you guys, you're gonna be like, well, why don't we just shoot for emerald? Like, that sounds pretty good. And it is good. But I'm gonna get into leadership bonuses and cabs and why that's even better when you hit diamond. But I'm gonna go over what you guys get paid on. So you've heard people say level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, blah, 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 when you get what you get paid on as that. And I was so confused about that for a very long time in my business. And I'm going to break it down. So hopefully you guys can write this down and teach your team so you don't have to be confused like I was. And okay, so level 1, you get paid 10%. Level 2, you get paid 10%. Level 3, you get paid 5%. Level 4, 5%. And make sure I get this right. Yeah, I always forget there's 3 5s. Level 5, 5%. Level 6, 2%. And that isn't like 2% all the way down. Okay, so as a distributor, let's see, am I saying this right? Yes, as a distributor, you get paid on 2 levels. So you get paid on you, level 1, 10%. You get paid on the people directly under you. That's a level 2. So 2 levels for a distributor. Now, as you progress, you start getting paid. This is why I'm telling you guys, this is not a build wide comp plan. This is a downline comp plan. You get paid on 3 levels down as your executive. And Ruby, this is why you guys want to promote. You get paid on 4 levels. And Emerald, you get paid all levels infinity. So Emerald is a big deal in your check. Like, you're gonna notice a huge jump. You're gonna be like, Ruby, what the heck was that? Like, when you hit Emerald, it is a huge jump. Because you are getting, if you've been building that downline and keep, you know, as your charts lay it all out for you, you're gonna notice a big jump in your check. So this is infinity. 2% infinity down in your organization. Now, on top of these percentages, you have something called an enroller bonus. And an enroller bonus is an extra 5%. Okay, so you will get, like, let's say you're the enroller for a distributor here on your top line. So not only are you going to get that 10%, but because you're that enroller, you're going to get an extra 5% on all their sales. So you're going to get 15%. So an easy way to just tell people when they're like, well, what's our commissions? I tell people you make from 2 to 15% on everything in your downline on sales. 2 to 15%. And it depends on your rank, of course, of what you're going to make. So that's why you want to make sure you're adhering to those charts and those maps and building correctly so that you can unlock these comp plans. Because if you just built wide, you guys, and never went emerald and just build wide, just whatever, you would never get paid infinitely under your organization, that 2%. That would not exist. So that's why when people tell people to not build a downline, or like I've heard people say, well, I'm going to build wide to maximize the comp plan. I'm like, that doesn't maximize comp plan. So you want to make sure you're hitting those ranks so that you're unlocking those levels. Okay. So you guys, this is residual income, all of it, everything. That's what we talk about, residual income. So, all right, so I did that. All right, so now here's the part I'm so excited to tell you guys about. And this is getting a little bit more advanced, but I want you guys to hear this even if it is a lot, because this was music to my ears. Like, I didn't know this existed, and when I heard about these cabs, they're called, or diamond bonuses, my mind was blown, like literally blown. So diamond, why diamond? Because emerald looks pretty good, right? We get paid all the way down through infinite levels. Diamond's even better. So with diamond, you literally unlock the entire compensation plan. And how you do that? Because you unlock the leadership bonuses. That's how you do that. So leadership bonuses. I'm going to go through what those are, and I'm going to give you guys some examples. So, all right. I'm going to just start. Okay. So this person. Let's say you've already gone diamond and you're going to start building a new lake, whatever. This is just for cabs to show you guys how to do this. So you sign a distributor and you help them. And this is after you've gone diamond, you guys. This does not happen until after you go diamond. So after you go diamond, this is what happens. You sign somebody, this is your personally enrolled. So you guys all know what happens when you teach them to get their first 2 loyal customers and run that auto shipment or get their 150. You get $100. On top of that $100, for every person that you do help them get fast start qualified, you get an extra $80. So if they're your personally enrolled, you're gonna get $180 for fast starts. So you guys can see how that would add up quite quickly. And that's forever, you know, forever. So let's say that's, okay, so this is your personally enrolled. I'm gonna put PE so you guys know. So let's say B signs a distributor. Here's where it gets crazy on your checks. B signs a distributor. So of course that's they're personally enrolled. They're going to get them fast start qualified. So they're going to get that $100, not you. But you are still going to get $80 on your commissions check, you guys. That's the diamond bonuses. So you are still, you don't get this 80 paid out to you like fast starts. It's tacked onto your commissions check. And it says diamond bonus on your commissions check or on your commissions report. So you're going to get $80 for every distributor from that point on, regardless if you enroll them or not. So I'm just going to do circles because it's easier. 80, they get fast start qualified, they sign somebody, you get 80, they sign somebody, you get 80 forever. Until one of those people goes diamond, then they will start getting that diamond bonus. But you're still going to get it on the other people that don't. So I have heard rumor that people's cabs have been upwards of cabs, so bonuses alone, from just this situation all the way down. I have heard rumor that it's been upwards of even 30 grand a month for some people. Because I know, my mind was blown. I would love that. So that can add up so quickly, you guys. So now I'm going to sweeten the pot even a little bit more here, because if you go double diamond, that number increases. So diamond cabs are $80. Double diamond cabs, I got to write, I always get this wrong, are $120. So 120. Triple diamond cabs are $135. You saying that right? Yeah. Presidential are $145. And ambassador cabs are $150. So can you guys imagine $150? So this changes. So when you go, let's redo that scenario. Let's say you're a double diamond. You're a double diamond now, and you sign that person up. So you get them fast start qualified. So now you get your $100 fast start bonus because you're personally enrolled. You get $120 just because you're of the double diamond bonus. So you get $220 for that person for helping them learn the steps. This person signs a distributor. So they'll of course get the fast start bonus, but you still will get $120 on your commissions check. And that same thing, 120, 120, 120, and all the way down. Infinite. until somebody goes diamond. So whose mind is blown? Because mine was like, I had Julie's like, I know. I was like, what? I was like, I need to go diamond. I did not know this existed. So think about that. Your ambassador. This is where like residual income just is ridiculous. You're ambassador and you do that, you get $250. So you help 2 people, personally enroll 2 people, okay, and help them. That's $500 extra right there a month when you're ambassador. And then that number for all the people after is 150, 150, 150. So I did some numbers for you guys. If you complete your steps to success as a diamond, okay, so as a diamond, if you complete your steps to success each month, so that's build a ruby, and you'll start getting that cab bonus. If you build a new ruby when you're diamond, that's $900 extra. If you build a new ruby every month as a double diamond, that's if you personally enroll all of them, by the way, guys. So personally enroll all of them, because then you get $1,100. If you personally enroll a whole 5 distributors as a triple diamond, that's an extra $1,175 on your commissions check. Presidential, $1,225. Ambassador is $1,250 per ruby that you personally enroll. So there's a reason why corporate's like, build rubies, build rubies. It's not just for them. It's for you guys. Like, it's for you, especially when you start getting those leadership bonuses. It's unbelievable what it does to your checks. So again, why you guys have to teach replication. You have got to stress those auto ships. You have to teach people about that, that's where they should be shooting for. Or if they're really using PBV, make sure they watch that like a hawk, because that affects you. And if they're not teaching their people, that affects all the way down the line. And that can be thousands of dollars lost out for people, not just you. I mean, other people as well, including the distributors themselves that are missing out on commissions. So, okay, let me see. Okay, so now a couple things I wanted to talk to you guys about were charting problems. So we kind of talked about that problem already, auto ship declined, but I want to give you one more scenario about that. So let's say everything else is taken care of on this leg. They're done. Everything's good. You're just waiting on this person to be commissions qualified. The 25th comes and you're like, oh, waiting, and all of a sudden, nothing. And you're like, oh my God, why are they not emerald? Like, what's going on? And their auto ship declined. Now it's the 26th, nothing you can do about it, nothing they can do about it. And you look and see their PBV, because that's all you can do right now to help them get commissions qualified, is 100. So everything else is taken care of, let's say, for your diamond and this emerald. This one person their order declined. And now that is going to affect your $10,000 bonus and their $1,000 bonus, I might add. So you've tried to get a hold of them. They are now in the witness protection program. You have no idea where they're at. They will not call you back. They're not responding to their $1,000 bonus, and you want to pull your hair out of your head. Well, this is the times where I love the 150, like love it, because I have a little bit of control now. Like I'm like, I'm not missing this. We have all worked too hard to miss this. You can place an order for anything 50 and over. And let's say a box of wraps, you place an order for a box of wraps. You can move that. You have 24 hours to move that order under this person. And that will put them, a box of wraps would put them at 154, which means they're now commissions qualified and you are a diamond. And so, of course, that's not ideal, but this is real life, guys. Like in a perfect world, I would love everyone's orders to be going through and auto ships, and that's not real life. And you have to watch this like a hawk and know who your players are. So let's say you're freaking out because this executive, so you got that fire put out, but now you just double checked and you're like, why is this executive not, their auto ship decline? So we can't get a hold of them either. That's life, it happens. You still can move up to 5 orders per policy and be in compliance. 5 orders or up to 1,000 in bonus volume for your promotions. Now, I, of course, don't recommend getting up towards that $1,000 or whatever, 1,000 BV for a diamond or anything like that. You, of course, want to push till the end and hopefully get loyal customers. But I do love that we can do that because it is hard to get everyone to 400. So if there's just like 30 BV here you're missing and it's the final hour and this person needs 40, like you're still well within compliance. You've only placed 54, which is 1 move. You're still well in compliance to place 2 separate orders, you guys. You have to do 2 separate. People make that mistake and they lump all that BV together. You can make 1 order for over 40 and move that under this person, and then their commission's qualified. You can make another order for the 30 you need here and move it under them, and you're good to go. Now, if you are going for a diamond, actually any promotion, don't think you don't need a second pair of eyes, because you're going to stare at that chart so long that you are going to go cross-eyed. And I've been in this situation of needing to do a move and only having I was like, okay, I've already moved 3 small orders. Now I need to move, 2 more. But I had to be really careful because I made Sarah look at it. I'm like, okay, make sure this distributor number is right. Make sure everything's right. And she was like, yep, it's right. I'm like, okay, because you get tired. Promotion months, you get tired. You are working hard. And like I said, those numbers, everything, that last day of the month, and nerves, you're nervous. And so that's the other thing. You start typing fast or type the wrong thing in. There's no take backs. Like you can't change, once you do it, you do it. So make sure you have a second pair of eyes for any promotion that you're going for. So I'm going to show you guys how I set up my charts each month. Okay, for real. I'm going to try to get this off. I thought the colors looked so nice and then they won't come off. Actually, I should leave them. All right. I just erased them and now I'm like, maybe I should leave them. Okay, I'm leaving them. And then these are execs. Come on. Oh well, you guys know that. No, marker malfunction here, whatever. Okay, so how I set up my charts each month, I am very systematic. I do it exactly the same every single month because I want to look at this diamond chart and I want to know exactly what my month is going to look like. I want to know where I left off. I want to know where I need volume. I want to know who's running an auto shipment and who isn't. I want to know who my key players are and what they're banking on for commission qualification, but I want to be able to do it all in one look. And I also want to know people's fast start dates. I'm also big on that. So I don't leave that up, especially now that I get cab bonuses. You guys of course you want to help your team, and I wasn't really as cognizant about it before, but I am definitely taking stock and figuring out when you have all those cab bonuses going down, you want to know that people are getting their fast start qualification. Because for one, your distributors are missing out on money. They're leaving money on the table. For 2, you're missing out on a lot of money. So you want to make sure you're keeping track of it. So how I do it, I go through literally each box, and I write down if they have an auto ship running. So let's say this emerald, I put AS, and then I put the date. So let's say AS 15. So I know at a quick glance, this person has an auto ship running on the 15th. Okay. And sometimes if I'm being super retentive, I'll put their BV that they have on there. But if I don't write the BV in there, I know it's above 80. I have some people who run auto ships for 40. I'm like, why? So I'll write that in. I'm like, auto ship 15th, and I'm like 40 BV question mark. So I can be aware that they ran it for 40. I need to talk to them and figure out what their purpose is. Are they going with PBV or what they're going to do? So on top of that, I know who my players are, right? So this is my Ruby. I want to make sure, let's say she has an auto ship running on the 10th. This is my Ruby. She has no auto ship. That's a problem. Obviously a problem. So, but I want to make sure I know that. So I know I'm going to be getting in touch with her. So I put AS and just a circle with a line through it. So I know no auto ship. So I know it's hard to see. I'm sorry, you guys. I'll write it bigger. So no auto ship for her. And I go through each one of these people first, of course, to see, because that's going to affect promotions for everybody. And for these people, I also do a little box and I put CQ. Can you see that? Whatever, I do a box. I do CQ by their name. CQ by their name. I do AS and then the date by their name, really by the box on the top of it. And when that auto ship runs, or if they're doing PBV, let's say, for example, this person's has no auto ship. So I'm going to put AS0. So this person has told me I'm going on PBV. Well, I'm also going to keep track of that. So I'm going to update that throughout the month so that I can see that. But this tells me a lot, you guys. This tells me a lot just by looking at that. I know my Ruby's not running an auto shipment. I know I have to watch that volume like a hawk to make sure she's qualified. And this is going to tell me exactly when she's commissions qualified. So once this PBV hits 150, I put a check mark in there. And because I'm so visual, I take a highlighter to my charts and I highlight this. I highlight the box. When they're done, they get highlighted on my chart because I don't want to waste time with that box anymore. And I'm not meaning people. I'm saying for my chart purposes, like I don't need to go back and recheck that box. I know they're good to go. So strictly for chart purposes, when I say boxes, you guys, of course I'm talking to these people. I don't mean to make them boxes, but for right now, when I'm looking, I need to quick at a glance figure out, hey, this person said I have a loyal customer, where should I place? I can tell them pretty quickly because the other thing I do is projected volumes. So I'm going to go through, and this does take a little bit of time, but it's worth it because I go through each one of these people. And let's say Sally and Sarah. So they signed last month, and some people will go to volume total, like by distributor in their eSuite and look and see what they were last month. I don't do that because your loyal customers have a login, right? So they can go and change their order. So I actually will go to my tree viewer. I'm a huge tree viewer fan. It's my favorite. Go to your tree viewer, put in show loyal customers, check that little box up top. And I do every person that I need for that promotion. I look and see all those loyal customers. I click on their names and I see what their auto shipment is and what it's set to run for. And I do addition and I say, then I put projected volume, and you can just, however you guys want to do it. Sometimes I'll put it usually in the bottom right, projected, because I know that's projected, but you got to find a way to keep it separate because you want to keep a running tally too of current. So current, I find a way to fit it all in. It's pretty small writing, but for now I can't really write it that small. So projecteds I'll put down here. Currents I update right here. Auto ships I usually put here. And then CQ I usually just, like this person, if I'm being honest, like I want them to be commissions qualified, of course, but I'm really concerned about this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one right now. So that's how I do it. I want to see at a glance where everything is so that I know Sarah, for example, had last month, let's say last month she had 600. Her loyal customers have changed their orders. So this month her projected is 500. So I know, you guys, if I get a loyal customer, I'm not placing it under Sarah at this moment in time because she's projected to be over 400. So let's say Sally's projected is, sorry, my pen's not working, 360. It's only 360. So I know I need to fill this box. I know that I'm going to be short in this box. And of course, things can happen and cards can decline. But for the most part, I'm going to keep my eye on that box. I'm going to know that projected is this, and I'm going to know quickly where I need volume at. So I think that's really what it comes down to. You guys, these promotions, you can't go in blind. And there's so much information you can get on day one of the next month. You can start a fresh chart, lay it out, who's running an auto shipment, who isn't. So I go through each one, do projected volumes for everybody by clicking on those loyal customers, write that down small somewhere, and then you just kind of keep tabs on it. I'm not a psycho. Like I don't like look every single day at people's volumes, but I do check, of course, 15th, kind of a mid-month type thing around that time. I'll check and see where volumes are, see how they're looking. I check my credit card declines. And then I kind of keep my eye on it a little closer that last week up until the 25th. And then on the 25th after that, I know exactly where I'm at. Exactly. So once on the 26th, those numbers are where I'm at. I shouldn't say forever, because let's say we can't have auto shipments reprocess after the 25th. Our loyal customers can. So they're going to try to run that again the last day of the month to try to get that order to go through. So, but what I'll try to do is if I look through and see a bunch of credit card declines on the 26th, I'm going to try to handle that up myself, before I wait for it. I'm going to contact my customers if they're mine, try to reprocess what I can when I can, because we all know month end's crazy, system runs slow. So, okay, I want to tell you guys real quick, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. So I'm going to take this down for a second, because I feel like this is easier to show you drawing it out. Okay, so I want to show you guys why filling volume bottom up is important. So let's say you are, what should I do, exec? Yeah, I'm going to use a Ruby chart. Never mind. So let's say, dang it, it's all wet. Okay. Seriously? All right, I might have to use a piece of paper, you guys. I'm determined to make this work. Okay, so you are going for Ruby. Can you even see that? So dumb. And so you have your distributor boxes, 3 on the top line for your Ruby. And you have your executive. Oh, for Pete's sake. All right, you guys get the gist of it, right? DE. Okay, so you're going to place volume. And bottom up, this can be a little confusing for some people. So let's say, for example, everything else is taken care of. These guys all at 400. This person is commissions qualified, so they're good to go. And then let's say this person has a distributor underneath them right here. And let's say this distributor just started, distributor F. And this distributor, I know it's light, guys, sorry. I'm having pen malfunctions at the end of this, has 1 loyal customer, okay? And they have a PBV / GB, because remember, same thing, when you don't have anybody underneath you, it's gonna be the same number, of 50, okay? Can't really see that. All right, so they have 1 LC, they just started the other day, they have 50 for a number, and all of these boxes are taken care of. So you are just looking at this 1 box, E. And so E has a group volume of 350, okay? So they have that means their PBV is 300, and this 50 flows up and makes their group volume 350. So you still have to get 50 BV under this person for them to be a 400 box. Okay, so you know that, you're hustling, you sign somebody for wraps, and you're like, okay, awesome. Your first instinct is gonna be to place right under this person, right? To get them right to 400. Okay, no, don't do that. Because let's say you place them under this person. So what that does, now you have 2 loyal customers under that person. You gave that person 104 for volume. You also helped them become Fast Start qualified, okay? Which means this person is now getting 100 bucks. So you have momentum for your team. You have, they're excited. This person's excited because you helped them out with a customer. This person's excited because they're getting 100 bucks. And that loyal customer still is going to give this person 404. So make sure you weigh all that. That's why I think it's so important to talk to sponsors, because what does that do then for next month? That sets you up for next month. Because if you just place that under here, that helps one person, right? If you place that person under here, that helps 1, 2, 3 people. So that's why I think moving people is cool and teamwork, and I love that. So, but that can get a little bit confusing. And so that's where group volume and PBV is so important, because people are like, what? I can't place them under there. I need them under here. I'm like, it's the same diff. Like if you're not going for commissions qualification for this person, which you don't need to, because you just need them as a qualified leg for your Ruby, then you can put that person under them and help all those people. So, all right, guys, that's kind of, one more thing. See where I did this FSQ? So if I have somebody new by their box, I put FSQ, Fast Start Qualified, and then I put the date that they have to get Fast Start Qualified. So I do that for everyone in my chart, even if they're not my personally enrolled, because of course I'm getting bonuses off those people, and I obviously, not just for myself, but I want them to get their Fast Start bonuses, because I think it's really discouraging for people when they don't get it. And a lot of times they don't get it just because they don't know the dates. And what happens, people start counting the day, like they go, let's say they signed up on the 15th, they go to the 15th of the next month. I'm like, no, you have to start counting 15, 16 on that exact day. So it ends up being like 1 or 2 days off. Does that make sense? So like, make sure you start counting the day this person signs up. So if it's the 15th, that counts as day 1. The 15th, day 1. It's not day to day on the month, it's 30 days. So you have to count, because it's not going to be exact every single time. All right, so that's really all I have for you guys. Do you have any questions that you have about anything? No? Did I confuse everybody sufficiently? Okay, good. Thank God. I was like, I'm so sad, because sometimes it's so easy to get off on tangents on this stuff. So, all right. So no questions or anything? All right. If you guys ever need any help, I know you guys all have amazing uplines, but I'm always here to take questions too. If you're on this training, like send me a message if you have a specific question about your own chart or anything like that. I'm going to stop the recording real quick.